You're listening to the Whip Appeal Show, hosted by Mistress Candy 69 from the BDSM Alive Radio Network. Well, hello. Today is Thursday, April 6, 2023, and you were listening live to the Whip Appeal Show, hosted by Mistress Candy 69. And of course, I want to thank Blitzkid for continually allowing me to use your song She Dominates for my wonderful fetish radio show that I've been doing on these kinky airwaves for, since 2015. So I've been on the airways 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That is 8 long years of you fellow fans listening to Mistress talk about everything kink and fetish. So today was an absolute gorgeous day here in Long Island. I think it reached about 74, 75 degrees here. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Got a little sunbathing in today. I was off from work. I got to relax. I cleaned up my whole entire room. It is absolutely, or my apartment, it is absolutely clean. It was kind of overdue. I was kind of a slob for a while, just letting some laundry and stuff pile up, but kind of, did that. After all, I don't have a slave that lives close by, so Mistress has to sometimes clean her own stuff, which is okay. So tonight's show is going to be packed with some interesting topics. Of course, I do the Dear Mistress column, and I have to say I've been overwhelmed to the point of joy by getting so many emails. And thank you, everybody who send the emails, because that's what keeps the show alive most of the time. For people that don't have the guts to call in or don't want to, even use an anonymous or a cahoot name. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about cahoot names in a few minutes. Kind of an interesting story for people that don't want to call into the show. So I actually enjoy reading through the emails. So tonight's show is I'm going to delve a little bit about belly button flatulent type sounds, like giving raspberries or zerberts on one's belly. And for those of you who don't know what a zerbert is, it's kind of like a wet fart raspberry, okay? And that's the only way to explain it. These types of fetish, belly button fetish, is about 2 individuals who actually emailed Mistress, and they wanted to know how they could get into the belly button type stuff. So here they want to know, here's the question. They wrote, "Dear Mistress, I would also love to know how should I be licking my partner and fiance, future wife's belly button before I blow into it to give it raspberries, to make it sound louder and louder, since the area will be wet once I have licked the entire belly button." So this individual is talking about a zerbert. And a zerbert is when you take a lot of saliva from your mouth and you actually spit or totally saturate your partner's belly button. Now, if your partner is ticklish and involves a little bit of tickling to a tickle torture, this is kind of a good thing. It's almost like doing a motorboat, if you would, between women's breasts, but you're making the area nice and wet with your mouth so you can allow a fart noise. So I think to some degree, the belly button fetish has a bit of, eproctophilia, like a fart fetish. You like the sounds of farts, as well as, as well as doing the blowing into the belly button. This is personally not my fetish. I'm just answering some questions. If you want to how to play with your girlfriend's innie, there's all sorts of things. You can get like body paint, edible body paint. You can use whipped cream. You can use cocoa butter, edible stuff. You can even use an edible form of spunk lube, which is the light green bottle. And of course, Spunk Lube is one of the sponsors for tonight's show. So thanks if you're interested in getting some really great assortment of personal lubricants. They have silicone, they have a green one, they have a pink one, they have an edible one, they have one that's naturally based, which is the edible. Go to spunklube.com and tell them that Mistress Candy from the BDSM Alive Radio Network sent you over there, and they'll be happy to help you out. And they're at spunklube.com. So you can get some of this delicious natural lubricant from Spunk Lube, and you can put it on her belly button, and you can lick it off. You can blow farts on her in her belly button. So I hope these are all things that I kind of covered with your subject. They were telling me that her belly button is soft and squishy like a marshmallow. Well, that's nice. But again, body paint. I mean, there's really not much to discuss with the belly button fetish. You either like it or you don't. There's a variety of tickling. You can use your fingers. You can use feathers. You can use lube. You can use all types of stuff. So basically, kind of use your imagination. And that's pretty much it. Another email I got from somebody who wanted to know about a PVC latex leather fetish, which kind of Mistress likes to delve in herself. You either objectify yourself or you're one of those people that has a PVC fetish to where you're objectifying a dress, not so much somebody in the dress. Bringing back to the visual aspect, you're going to want to use a visual aspect when you're doing the belly button play. You're going to want to paint on some cool body paints. Try to get the edible ones. Have a little bit more fun. You can use edible lubricants like fruit flavors if that's something that suits your fancy. You could even do chocolate. You can use fruit. I've seen people put plastic wrap on people, or not even plastic wrap. They even just put regular food in one's belly button and someone eats it out too. So you can get very creative. But, these are kind of things that really need some deep thought. And I hope I was at least able to cover some of it in the brief discussion about it. But I want to get into the cahoot names, okay? Because this happened to me at work yesterday. I had this doctor who I work with who was telling me that he does some other job outside of the office, and sometimes he has to fill up his roster, so he gets all these figmented names like Seymour Butts or Bend Over and shit like that. So it brought me to a conversation where a couple of years, about 20 years ago, I had worked for this other dentist, and me and this girl that worked there wanted to kind of get out early, so we put a figmented patient at the end of the schedule. And let me tell you, this should have been in the Cahoot's book, but it is not. The one that I came up with was called Iva Rottenbush, and I spelled it IVA and then capital RHOTTENBUSCH. So Iva Rottenbush. Sounds like a really good German name for a lady, right? But what it's really saying is you have a rotten bush. So I was telling the doctors this at work, and they were fucking dying. So one of them pulls me into the back of the office and shows me a video of The Simpsons. And this is where he said he gets his names from. So I listened to some of them, and him and I were fucking dying. So not only was that pretty funny, one of the younger fellas who works in the office actually went on the computer and pulled up something called a Cahoot list, which I had no idea this shit even existed until this young fella that I work with had showed me this stuff. And so I then sent it to my boyfriend, and he obviously was reading it and laughing his ass off. there was a few of them that were fucking absolutely fucking hilarious. Like, for instance, I'm sure some of these people, like you listening to the show, was like, holy shit, I haven't heard that one in a long time. So I'm going to read a few of them out loud, and I'm going to spell them after I'm done saying them and after I'm done laughing, okay? The first one is Hugh Jass. So it's Hughjass. Hugh Jass. The second one on there was Peter File, and it's Peterfile. Peter File. Then we got Chris Peacock. I don't have to spell that one. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Then we have Mike Hawk. Has anyone seen Mike Hawk? Or depending how you pronounce it, Mike Hawk. Like Mike Hawk. And of course, here's one of the classics, Bend Over. Okay, so now we got, this one is pretty funny. Now, the fella who I work with said, oh, this would be a good black guy's name, a good alias. It's called Haywood Jablow. So these are pretty funny for like those young guys that are trying to get into the porn industry. They can call themselves Haywood Jablow or Huge Ass. Now here's more. Ready? There's a few of them on here that really make Mistress fucking laugh her head off. And honestly, I heard some of these yesterday. I laughed so hard I was crying. I had tears coming out of my eyes because it was absolutely fucking hilarious. So here we go. Ready? Wilma Dickfit. Wilma Dickfit. Dixie Normus. Barry McCockiner. Barry McCockiner. We got Duncan McOinker. Or is it Duncan McOkainer? I don't know if it's McOinker, I think it's spelled. Hugh G Reaction. Huge reaction. Mike Oxlong. Phil McCracken. This one has got to be the most funniest one that made me laugh so hard I was crying yesterday. You ready? Here it is. Mo Lester. Gabe Itch, get it? I fart all night, right? I fart all night is the last name. So it's I fart all night, which is fucking, those are for like the proctophilia sluts, like I fart all night. Gay bitch is for those people who are really gay that just can't admit it. Mo Lester, that one is self-explanatory. Here's another one that an eager, slutty sissy would probably rectify or call themselves. Fill my ass. And it's PHILMIAS. Fill my ass. Okay. That one is really fucked up because if you look at the way it's spelled, it's PHILMIAS, so it looks like fill me ass, but it's really fill my ass. Then here's another one, Justin Harass. Oh my God, here's more. You ready? Now, I hope some of you are listening to the show laughing your ass off, because the first time I read some of these, I couldn't believe it. I was like fucking dying. And the one that I came up with, Ivor Rottenbush, is not on here. So actually, recently, yesterday, I just submitted it anonymously to their list. So it was really funny. Here's another one. Ready? Gabe Utsex. It's GABEUTSECKS. Gay butt sex. So it's like gay butt sex, but it's gay butt sex, which is really hilarious. Stan Keepist. Tara Dickoff. Tear your dick off. Hugh Janus. Oh, this next one. Oh, this one made me like almost fall over yesterday. You ready? This is a 3-word name. Mike Roch Burns. Mike Roch Burns. Mike Crotch Burns. Then you have Pat Myaz, which is PATMYAZ. Pat Myaz. Then you got Betty Fucker, and it's BETTYPHUCKER. Then you got, well, this one's not so funny, but it is kind of funny. Rapist, RAYPIST. Rapist. Here's Erection. Then you got Dang Ling Wang. Dang Ling Wang. That's like great for a Chinese guy who wants to be dirty and use an anonymous cahoot name. He can call himself Dangling Wang. Then we got Harry Ballsack. Pedophile, excuse me. Wilma Dickfit. School Cahooter. Terrorist, which is awful, that one. Here's a real juicy one. Craven Moorhead, okay? Or Willie B. Hardigan. Anita Penis, and it's Anita P. and an S. Then we got Giant Dick, which is JYANT Dick, Giant Dick. Then here's another really good one for all you secret little faggots out there. Ice Wallow Cum. So it's Ice, ICE, and then WALLOW Cum, COME. That should be like some undercover sissy's name. I swallow cum. Or Norma Stitz. Enormous tits. Then you got Big Erections. Mass Debater. Boner. Or here's another great one for those closet lesbos. Grazer Clit. GRAYZERCLIT. Grazer Clit. Then we got the most famous one that's been around for ages, that came out like around the Seymour Butts era and the Bend Over era. We got the old famous Mike Hunt. Now, who remembers the movie Porky's? Do you remember the part when Wendy is working in the restaurant or the diner, and the boys from Angel Beach are outside at the payphone, and they call her, so they have like a split screen of them in the payphone and Wendy in the restaurant. And they call her up, and they ask her if there's a Mike Hunt there. So she then shouts out in the restaurant, "Hey, has anyone seen a Mike Hunt?" Like Mike Hunt, over and over again. And obviously, then they start laughing. She figures it out, and then she starts laughing. But that's the ultimate famous one. Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt. Okay? Then you got Jack Me Off. Mike Lit is another one. So instead of Mike Hunt, we got Mike Lit. Okay? And Mike It's my tits. Or Duncan McCoconut. I spelled it wrong or said it wrong. Duncan McCoconut, right? Duncan McCoconut. That's like a good Irish name. Duncan McCoconut, and it's spelled DUNCAN. Duncan. Mick M-C-C-O-C-O, Mick M-C-C-O-C-O-N-A-H, Duncan McCockina. Oh my God, that one's great too. Oh, some of these fucking things are really funny. I hope you people listening to the show tonight is having as much fun as I am saying all these fucking funny things. Okay? Then there's the infamous Cam Alto that we already know about. Or Zuck My Balls. Z-U-C-K, Zuck, and then M-A-B-A-U-L-Z. Zuck My Balls. Oh my God, some of these are fucking hilarious. Or here's another one. Another Chinese name, Pussy. P-O-O-S-E-E. Pussy. Or Dick Big. Or here's another one. Dill, D-I-L-L, D-O-U-G-H, dildo. So we got Gordon Ramsay, Kimmy Head, Mike Lithurts, Dildo, Dig Bick, Pussy, Taj Madik, I don't know, Taj Matic, or like Taj Madik, I don't know what the fuck that one means. Clay Torres. Dolores Clitoris is another one. Here's a great one. Balzac, and it's B-A-U-L-Z-A-C-K. Now, that's kind of like Balzac from Gwar, when they had the song Vlad the Impaler. They talk about Balzac, the one of their, I guess the other musician, there's the Odorous Urungus, and then there's like Balzac's, I forget his name, but that reminds me of Gwar. Then we have Harry, you ready for this one? Harry Cockin' Meehan. Harry Cockin' My Hand, it's supposed to be. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Or Masturbator, like Masturbator. Annie No. Jack Goff. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of them on here. Some of them are like really funny. Then they have like these stupid ones like Fat Ho, P-H-A-T-H-O. Or Fuck You, and it's P-H-A-K-Y-U, like fuck you, fuck you. Then you got, what's some of the other ones on here? Humongous, Ligma Balls, L-I-G-M-A-B-A-L-L-S, like Ligma Balls. Then we got, of course, Joe Mama, Salty Nuts, Salty N-U-T-E-S, Salty Nuts. That's another one. Then you got Something Wong. Oh God, here's another one. Hoof-hearted, like hoof-hearted. Humongous, of course. Where's some of the other ones, like, really funny on here? Hold on, there's more. Here's one. Stupid. This one's bad. Stu, and then P-I-D-A-S-H-O-L. So it's Stu Pedasshole. That looks like it could be a real name, actually. Here's another one. Ho, and then L-I, and then S-H-E-T. So it's holy shit. Holy shit. Here's another common one. Helen Keller, Anne Frank, Adolf Hitler, Farking Hell, Lana Backwards, Yuri Tarded, and it's Y-U-R-I-T-A-R-T-E-D. That one's kind of funny, actually. It kind of reminds me of a little, like, Jewish, a Russian Jewish name, like Yuri Tarded. That's like Yuri Tarded and Stupid Asshole. Or that's another one that goes with, I don't know. This one's not too good. I'm not going to read some of these. Some of these are really bad. Some of these, I don't know if we could post this one. This might be really bad. There's a couple of black, insulting ones that I'm not going to read. But some of them were absolutely fucking hilarious. So, I don't know. I would love to know your input about some of the things we discussed on tonight's show. It's quite funny, actually. So I think a lot of these names, what are other names for crank calls, right? So I'm trying to think. I got to find that Simpsons video that had all those things on there. It was kind of funny. So I don't know. I've been kind of. I want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Eastover. That's a combination of Easter and Passover. That's because I'm talking about cahoot names, and look, I almost made a cahoot holiday, which is Eastover, which is Happy Easter and Passover at the same time. So Happy Easter and Happy Passover to everybody who celebrate. And actually, Easter I have called in the past Jesus Zombie Day, where Jesus rises from the dead as a zombie. So, So it's kind of interesting. Here, I'm going to look up other cahoot names that are even funnier that people use. Let's see. I think this is the one I just read. So, let's see. What is a good cahoot name? Pill Cosby. Horton Here's a Jew. Oh, my God. Nerdy Poo. Some of these are pretty funny. I was trying to find, really dirty ones for the show, but some of them are just really bad. So, I don't know, it's kind of funny, the ones. Cahoot the Teacher, Loudmouth, Confused Teletubby. Oh my God, I can't read this one. Some of these are really bad. Chungus the Fungus. Let's see, hold on. I don't know, some of these, Deja Jew. Hold on. Some of them are really dumb. The ones I had were funny before, but these ones are kind of... Oh, yeah, there's Gay Bitch on this one. Candy Co-off Cheese Bowl. Crayon Munchers. I don't know. Some of these are dumb. I like the really funny, dirty ones, of course, in particular. So, I don't know what's coming up on the agenda lately. So, Mistress has been busy with work. And I've been kind of going back to work on Night Flirt, actually. Been doing some text chat with some submissives. A couple of my old submissives. Bitch Boy actually came back to me on there. So, Bitch Boy, if you're listening, haha, Mistress gave you a shout out. And just so you know, this little Bitch Boy lives in Chicago. He's been my customer on Night Flirt since probably 2011. And he loves and craves humiliation. So in the past, I would have him go on webcam, and I would make him wear a plastic bag as a skirt. It was hilarious. Where I'd have him bend over and spank his pathetic brown ass and jerk off his little 2-inch brown sausage. Literally, he's kind of the dark skin. I think he's Indian, actually. So he likes to be a little horsey boy for Mistress. And he likes when I tell him how to spank himself, or sometimes I make him sing a really gay song. I'll have him sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and I'll make him squeal like a pig, or snort like a pig, or make him moo like a cow, or have him neigh like a horse for really bad humiliation. Actually, today he was chatting with me a little bit on the internet about how he remembered about how I used to humiliate him very badly, and that he addressed me as such. He had said, "Oh, Mistress, I have been craving for you to humiliate my little brown ass." This is what he said to me. And I kind of laughed. I thought it was very funny. So actually, I may go on to Night Flirt now and actually read you some of his chat, because it's more humiliating when I read about it to everyone else that gets to listen. And quite funny. Let's see. Hold on. Oh my God, excuse me. I'm a little tired today. So I told him that the next time I had him on phone or chat, I was going to give him a scenario that he was going to be in a doctor's office, and myself and my wonderful staff was going to be there humiliating him every step of the way. That we were going to make him put like cotton rolls up his nose and in his ears, and that I was going to design for him a dental bib made into a skirt, that he was going to go up to the front desk and recite something that was absolutely heinous. And, so it's kind of interesting. So, he likes to be humiliated. He's been humiliated by me for the past, 13 years or so. And, he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember I made a trash bag skirt for you before, and you made me shake my brown ass and lift up the skirt and try to twerk." Oh yes, I totally remember that. He didn't have a diaper once, so I told him to use a trash bag skirt. Another time I made him wear a garbage bag as a poncho. He put like a hole in it so he could put it like around his head, and then I made him like cut some armholes out of it, and then I made him take like a belt, so he made like a fashionable dress out of a garbage bag once. And I was like humiliating him. I was laughing at him and telling him to do all kinds of like funny, stupid things. And he was doing it. And I used to call him my little brown monkey boy and told him to dance and twerk. He was almost like like I was the court jester. No, he was the court jester and I'm the queen sitting in my throne being entertained by this little like, humiliation junkie. I think another time I made him go on webcam throughout the years and jerk off while I called him all kinds of pathetic names. And he seemed to like that. Of course, he was paying for the cam session, so it wasn't like I was doing this shit for free. And another time I did some other stuff. So, it all depends. But I think in the long run, I've had a really wonderful 33 years of being a dominatrix, and all the things I've done between humiliation and fire play and whipping and exposing people who wanted to be blackmailed, or humiliating them on my website, which I told Bitch Boy if he wanted me to put him back on my website, I would need some current photos. So I was going to send him a task later tonight of things I want him to do at home, and then take pictures and send it to Mistress so I could put him on a new tab on my website, which is going to be called the Humiliation Junkie page. And Bitch Boy is going to be placed on there for everyone to read my website and to see how fucking pathetic he is. And of course, this is what he loves. He loves being humiliated. He goes, "What can I do for you today? I'm not able to call, but you can still humiliate me over chat." He goes, "He. Remember the good old times when you humiliated the shit out of me and laughed out loud hard. You even posted me on your website." Oh yeah, I remember all this. It's funny, he comes back to me and refreshes my memory. And then I was telling him about, my older slave, Paula, that he's come back to me, that I have a collar waiting for him. So, Paula, if you're listening to the show, I actually found your Gorian slave collar, and it's awaiting you. So when you do come to me at some point, I would be happy to recollar you and, of course, take you back as my slave, which you are already. You're just missing your newer permanent collar. So it's kind of interesting. But, I'm looking forward to going back on my Night Flirt and chatting with some of my old humiliation junkies that want to be exposed. And, of course, Mistress loves posting about them and seeing how pathetic they are and sharing them with the entire world to see what a humiliation junkie will go and how far they will go to get their shits and giggles. So, kind of an interesting thing, right? Then I also work on StreamMate models under Mistress Candy 69, and I do domination webcam there. I also do dick ratings. You can go into the chat room and do a one-on-one with me where I give you a penis rating on a scale of 1 to 10. And most of you are so fucking pathetic, you underscore so many times. But of course, that's what makes me have fun and laugh at your pathetic little dicks between your legs, that you think you guys are so big and you're really just so small that you could be like, literally the last 3 wieners in a cocktail Frank package. And I have some guys on there that will go into the private cam with me and they literally don't say anything. They just whip out these really disgusting dicks. And like, honestly, some of them I wish I could erase from my visual memory, but unfortunately I cannot. Once I've seen it, it's been seen, and who the hell wants to keep looking at that shit? But whatever, I don't mind. Sometimes I like to just entertain fellas by telling them how fucking pathetic they are, and that they have meaningless lives until they're under Mistress's tutelage. And then they usually say, oh, okay, you know what, you're right, I'm a pathetic little bitch, and I'm here for your amusement. So those are the types of submissives that Mistress enjoys, the ones that actually know and understand their fucking place. And I love to give humiliation at its finest. So, but I don't know. I hope everyone has a wonderful Easter, and I hope you can have some kinky fun with your partner. There's always some kinky fun things to do at home on Easter. You can play a game of hot cross buns. That's when you bend your partner over and you spank the shit out of their ass cheeks and give them something to sting. So when they come join you for Easter breakfast morning, they are sitting on nice red ass cheeks. So that's a food for thought. You can also do a fun Easter egg hunt. You can hide some eggs with some dirty little sayings in them, which I've done in the past. And you could put in good for one blowjob, good for one, pussy fucking. You can put good for one erotic massage, things of that nature. You can have fun with your partner this holiday. Or you can just basically melt chocolate, pour it all over them, and lick it all off. And then if you're more on the religious side, then you might want to go to church and, pray for Jesus or whatever, to his resurrection. So, but other than that, I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter and at least try to, be a little fun and hop into the spring of things, Let's see, the next couple of months, what does Mistress have planned? Well, Mistress may be seen at multiple concerts throughout the rest of the upcoming year. Or I may even go as my regular self. I really don't go out dressed as Mistress anymore unless I'm going to Exotica or like a concert or something. Or last few concerts I went as my regular self because, my feet hurt walking in heels. But I will be at Exotica this year in Edison, New Jersey in November. So I will, in fact, be there. I'm looking forward to seeing all of my friends. Of course, Sir Lorenzo and Casey Carter and Sean Elliott and Mike from ASN and all those wonderful people from over there. And, of course, Rita Daniels will be back at Exotica this year, which I'm looking forward to seeing her, and I'm giving her a big shout out. Mwah, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you can come on the network when you're feeling better. And for those of you who don't know, Rita had some surgery back in October. She had a multiple level cervical and thoracic fusions. So I think she's slowly getting into the swing of things and recuperating. I of course, this time last year, was getting ready to have my surgery. So, April 21st is in fact 1 year I had my surgery ago. April 21st, I am 12 months post-op of a cervical fusion, ACDF, discectomy, and decompression spinal surgery. So I feel great. I'm back in shape, of course. I look fantastic. I feel good. Yeah, I have some aches and pains here and there. I'm back to the gym. I'm pressing leg press 560 pounds. Exactly a year ago, I did the same thing right before my surgery. And actually up until about a couple of months ago was when I started pressing heavy for legs again, and I was kind of teetering around with the idea of what I can and can't get away with. And, my doctor had said that, of course, you take it with moderation. You know what you can and can't do. If you feel pain, immediately stop. That's it. He goes, you've healed. He goes, you're probably one of my quickest healing from a post-op from a cervical fusion and discectomy, excuse me, that he had in a very long time. Oh, it's funny. Somebody also emailed me on the Dear Mistress column about a belching fetish. So on occasion, I do like to burp. Some guys think it's disgusting, but it is a natural bodily function, and you really can't control it sometimes. For instance, when I'm with my boyfriend and we eat a big meal together, we'll be sitting, on the couch or whatever together, or the chair watching television, and, out of nowhere, I go to kiss him, and I have, a digestion gurgle coming out of my mouth, and he's, laughing. Kind of funny if you think about it, And I'm like, digestion, it's either digestion or indigestion, depending on what I ate. So, but it's kind of funny. There's been, numerous times where Mistress has actually farted in front of him. And they were all accidental, of course. And, of course, here we go, stemming back to the proctophilia fetish. Not that my boyfriend has one, but if, let's say I was to film this video with my guy and of him and I having hot, steamy sex, and midst of sex, I'm about ready to have this big, juicy, wet orgasm. And what do you think happens at this time? Mistress lets out a huge fart. Not one, a few farts, 3 farts in particular. And my guy looked at me and started laughing so fucking hard, mind you, okay? And even still to the day, when him and I are romantic with each other, I just can't help it. I always start laughing because I think about the time or the multiple times that him and I were together, and I was so excited and having such a wonderful, hot, steamy sex session that I actually let myself go, literally, farted in bed. There was another time after that where him and I were playing with whipped cream, and we were at my place, and he got so sticky, I had to, put him in the shower. So here I am in the shower with him, and what do you know? My guy decides to fart while we're in the shower. So I laughed just as hard as he laughed at me when that happened the first time. And then on Valentine's Day, Mistress decided to fart not once but 3 times again also. So, listen, it's a natural bodily function. There are people who do have fart fetishes. My boyfriend does not have one, but yet him and I, of course, find farting to be quite hilarious to some degree. And the way I say it is, listen, it's a normal bodily function. Sometimes it can't be avoided. It's natural. It's not like you're, let's say him and I were just sitting watching TV. I wouldn't be grabbing him by his face and forcing his face into my ass crack while I just blasted him. I would never do that to him. But a submissive who has a fart fetish, who may be serving me at one time or another. I've actually done this to a submissive before, where I walked up to him at a convention and I knew he was into fart fetish, and I basically just kind of blew a fart. I grabbed him by the back of his head and buried his head right into the crack of my ass, and I literally let it go. It was probably the most loudest fart ever. And he just stood there with a big smile on his face and goes, "Thank you, Mistress." So there are some people who do quite get off on eproctophilia fart fetish. And actually there was a fella who I met on StreamMate last year who on occasion will message me on StreamMate, how are you? I'm thinking about you. I just saw a dom in Long Island that does fart fetish. I would like to speak with you about it. So, okay, him and I were messaging, and he was telling me that he paid this woman $350 or something, or $400 for her to sit over his face naked and fart on him. So I said, so you laid there naked. No, you laid there naked while this woman was naked. He goes, no, I had clothes on. I said, okay. He goes, I was completely dressed. The woman had like a dress on, was completely naked underneath, and literally sat on my face and farted on me. I said, wow. He goes, and she stunk. He goes, she told me she ate broccoli and Chinese food and beets and beans and all kinds of stuff. So she prepared for a few days to be extra gassy for this pathetic little fart slave to lay there while she farted on his face. So it was kind of funny, actually, you know. So him and I were talking about it, and I was laughing, and I said, wow. I said, well, when I do my proctophilia sessions, I'm not naked, and if I am, the submissive is blindfolded, so they can't see me. They can only smell and hear. See, I'm the type of dame that really doesn't do any kind of naked sessions because I'm into CFNM, which is clothed female, naked male. So the submissive would be naked in front of me, and I would be dressed. So if I was going to be doing a type of eproctophilia fart fetish session, I would definitely have the submissive either laying on the floor naked, maybe with hands and legs bound, a blindfold, and the only thing that they would get to hear is my voice and the sound of the farts that I would blow into their fucking pathetic faces while they were laying there helpless like a damsel in distress. So to me, that's kind of like where I would go with that. I would wear a cat suit with no panties, so basically there'd be very fumes. Not berry fumes, very good fumes. A nice light skin, cat suit, preferably one with a zipper. So if I felt like unzipping my ass crack and unders, you would get, a good whiff right from the fucking source. But that's only up to me if I decide to do that. You don't ask me that before a session. That's kind of like, But, I don't know. Then I was thinking of maybe getting these little bottles that say, the freshest air of Mistress Candy's derriere. And it would be bottled up farts for those disgusting boys that had they could buy them for a lot of money and then open them up at home and have like a fart come out of the can. or a magic fart in a bottle. So I don't know. These are all things that I was thinking of marketing at one point to attract fart sluts to Mistress's farty gassy oven, and to see if they would, I'm sorry, I call it Mistress's gas chamber. I really enjoy the fucking eproctophilia fetish. I love, when I get some guy that calls me on phone sex and he's jerking off and he goes, Mistress, I hope that you're gassy because I just love the sound of women farting. And I thought this guy was kidding. And this is probably when I first got into the fart fetish back in 2009 or 10. And I remember he called me on my phone sex, this guy, and his name was, Flatulent Frank, I think his name was, and then he really told me his name was Mike or whatever, but he lived in Tennessee, and that he really had a thing for women who had farted. So when I was talking to him, I would of course make these queer fart noises with my mouth, something like this, like a grossy, gassy kind of, kind of wet, flatulent, not like a shart, not like a shitty fart, but like a wet fart kind of sound. And, excuse me. Then I had this other fella who told me he liked the sound of crackling farts. So I had all these different guys that were interested in different sounds of farts. So what I had bought was one of those, electronic fart machines that you can like program with a remote, basically. So actually, it's kind of funny. One year on April Fool's Day, probably back in like 2014 or 2015, I was working in this other office, and one of the doctors there, I really didn't like him. So me and one of the other doctors put this mechanical, remote-controlled whoopee cushion under his chair. Like, so every time he was like working on a patient, we'd like press the fucking remote so you'd hear like this fart noise, right? And the doctor who was working, his patient would kind of like, make like, oh God. So he didn't say anything. Couple of patients go by, we do it again. Then finally, like a couple of hours later, the doctor like figures it out. He's like, because I think somebody pressed the remote while he walked past, but there was nobody in there. So, like, in the room where he was working, and then he heard it go off, so he figured out where it was coming from, and he lifted up the chair, and he goes, who the hell put this under my chair? And me and this one doctor look at each other, and we're like, oh, I don't know. Like, and then the doctor comes to me, and he goes, did you put this under my chair? I said, no, it totally wasn't me. I mean, it was me and someone else, but I wasn't going to give up who the other person was. But it was pretty funny. So that's how I acquired that fart machine. I actually got it from this doctor that I used to work with, that we pranked another doctor with. And then I had told them, I said, oh, this is perfect to use for my phone sex business, especially those perverts that like to listen to various sounds of farts. And I think this thing was programmed like 12 fart noises. It was fucking hilarious. I'll tell you, I would love to get another one of them, because it would absolutely help me when I have those horny fart maniacs, the proctophilia sluts, fucking harassing me for like, and I can't just fart on command unless I eat something like really gassy. And who the fuck wants to walk around farting all fucking day long? So, Oh my God. So tonight we did a little bit about belly button fetish. The difference between a raspberry and a Zerber is basically the same thing. A raspberry is a wet, juicy, blowing on someone's skin. Well, like when you were a child and your parents would like lift up your shirt and blow wet farts on your belly button. That's basically what we're talking about here, kids. Or folks, there's nobody that's never done this. If you can't figure out how to play with your future wife's belly button, then you should look up online. But I think honestly your best bet is to continue doing the Zerberts and the raspberries. Use edible body paint, edible motion lotion, and experiment with any which way possible. You can even do tickle torture. You can add in some feather tickling of that nature, but have fun with your partner and stay kinky. That's the part about evolving and exploring. I mean, if I was to give you everything that I knew about it, then I would know about it. But I'm not really into bellies or belly button fetish. I will discuss it and kind of guide you and give you the help that you need. But there's really not much to talk about. I mean, I kind of enjoy the fart fetish more. It seems to be more up my alley. It's more, I know a lot about it because I've actually done it. The tickle torturing fetish I've done before also. I've also done fire play, fire cupping, edge play, knife play, branding, whipping, all sorts of heavy duty impact play. And remember, the thing is, you have to have consensual agreements between you and your partner. So if your partner is trying to do some fetish stuff with you, you might want to have permission from them first. Even though you're in a loving relationship, consent is key. So always remember to get consent, and then you'll be living a happy, kinky lifestyle. And, but these are things you can do. Edible body paint. You can even put, like, food in your future wife's belly button. Now, if she's pregnant, you might want to be cautious with the belly button, because that's where the umbilical cord, attaches your child to, the mother. So you want to be careful not to do any impact play with a pregnant woman. But, granted, you should be doing stuff of that nature, gentle play, any type of play that you think is going to make her happy. You want to ask her first, too. Just don't do something to her without her permission. Say, hey, can I try this? If she says she doesn't like it, then you stop immediately. You don't continue to do it. It's kind of interesting. I really enjoy giving advice to, like, couples, but, like, sometimes the topics are a little difficult because I'm not really sure how to answer, but I think I answer it the best I can. And I really do appreciate all you individuals sending me the emails, of course, because I think that's, like, a big help. I've always liked to do the Dear Mistress column because, a lot of people don't want to call into the show. A lot of them like to send in emails on bdsmaliveradio@gmail.com, or they can send the email to mistresscandy1969@gmail.com. Either one is fine. And you could put a topic for the show, fetish question, Dear Mistress, I have a question. You could always send me a message on Twitter. Also, I'm at Mistress C69, at the Whip Appeal Show, and at BDSM Alive Radio Network, or BDSM Alive Radio on Twitter. Facebook, we have BDSM Alive Radio. We also have the Whip Appeal, and we also have my fan page, which is Mistress Candy 69. So I would love for all who listen to the show to please follow me on all of my social media so you can stay up to date about things that are going on. I try to generally do the show every Thursday live, although last week I did a recorded one because I had something to do. And the 2 weeks before that, I did not do a show because I was kind of sick and whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed listening to the show tonight. But I am going to say goodnight because I've been talking for almost an hour. And Mistress has a lot of things to do tonight. And I'm getting kind of tired. Even though I was off all day today, I sunbathed in the yard. I went shopping. I relaxed. I put some stuff away in my closet. I'm not going to say what else I did because I don't want to get too personal. But of course, I was, going through the emails for tonight's show and getting ready for tonight's show. And I'm glad you all listened tonight. And please, the phone lines will be on next week. The number to call into the show is 516-406-3512. You can also send a text to that number because Mistress is always answering submissives online or on text or on the show. And I want to thank you all for giving me such great feedback on all the platforms that the show is on because I've been getting nice comments from the listeners. So I have to thank you all very much for your wonderful comments about how educational my show is, which that's, kind of my point here. I'm trying to teach people about different aspects of BDSM, different kinks and different fetishes. And I'm very happy and pleased when people email me, especially couples, wanting to know how to delve in such belly button bodily fetishes. So it's awesome. Thank you very much. It's great to hear and see that I have great listeners and people who really enjoy the show. So I wanted to thank you all again for listening tonight. I want to thank Spunk Loop for being a sponsor for the show. I want to thank Blitz Kid for allowing me to use your song She Dominates. I want to thank my wonderful friends, Sir Lorenzo, for being a big inspiration to me last year and helping me get my show restarted. And here I am now. And look where I am now. For a year ago, I was in a totally different place. And now I'm in a much better place ever. And it's never going to be bad ever again. It's going to just get better and better from here on out. So thank you for listening. And have a great Easter and Passover. And I will see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And please keep the emails coming. You can email me anywhere. You can message me. You can text the radio show number. You could even call the radio show number and leave a voicemail, and Mistress will respond to you. I'm very good. I try to stay up to date with all the ways to communicate with my fans because that's what helps my page grow. And also, if you get a hot minute, you might want to check out my OnlyFans. I do have an OnlyFans page. It's free to subscribe. I don't charge anything. I only charge for posts and special pictures and videos if you want to see certain stuff. But it's free. It's onlyfans.com/MistressCandy69. And I'm on StreamMate.com, StreamMateModels.com/MistressCandy69. And I'm still, of course, on NightFlirt.com under MistressCandy69. And please follow me, chit chat with me. I love to get to know all of my fans and followers, and I want to thank everybody, of course, again for helping me have my show grow. And of course, I love when all you freaks out there download all of my shows. Keep it up. It's great. I haven't really checked my numbers for the past month, so I'm going to be doing that tonight after I get off, because they're actually growing. Each week I have so much more downloads, so thank you all very, very much. So on that note, I'm going to go, but stay kinky, my friends, and have a wonderful Easter week, and I will see you all next week. So thank you and good night. You're listening to the Whip Appeal Show, hosted by Mistress Candy 69 from the BDSM Alive Radio Network.